Hey Brick fans, this is Dave from Brick 101, and today I'm going to show you how to build Bendy from Bendy and the Ink Machine. I get a lot of different requests for how to build videos. This year, by far, one of the most popular requests was Bendy. It's hard to even count how many comments I got, but there were at least 400 some asking for Bendy, so it was only a matter of time until I made Bendy, and here he is. So I actually worked with another Lego designer to make this happen. I contracted this out to Mark Larson. He is an amazing designer. He has worked at Legoland California and Malaysia. He's a prominent member of Bricks and has won awards at Brickworld Chicago. He's also a good friend of mine, so he actually did a lot of the design work on this under my supervision. So many thanks to Mark for designing this build. There's a link in the video description where you can see more of Mark's work online. We're going to start by building the legs. First piece you'll want to find is one of these curvy arches in black. We're going to be working in a lot of black today. Then some 1x1 square plates to go on the bottom of that arch, fill it in. Then 2 cylinder bricks, stack those up. That's all you really need to do for the leg. If you want to make it a little more stable, you can stick a 3-long rod in there, and that'll just keep it from the cylinder bricks falling apart. So build 2 legs like that. Okay, now let's build the torso. So the first piece you're going to look for is a relatively new piece. It's this curvy upward slope. I only have a couple of them, so 1x2 in black. Then you're going to get a 1x3, 1x2, and 1x3 plate. Push all those together. Let's do some connecting here. So with a 1x3 plate here, you can connect all of those together. And also on that level, we're going to get a bunch of these headlight bricks, 1x1 bricks with stud on one side. Do one that way, and that way. Those will be for the arm and the neck connection points. Also on this level, we're going to take some 1x1 Technic bricks and have those going down. The other thing we can do is we can take this 1x1 plate and put it in that curvy upward slope. That's just going to sit down there for now, not quite connected just yet. But immediately we'll connect that with this 1x3 plate. So even build it on there and connect it in. No, it's hard to see black on camera. And then some 1x1 plates to fill in each side. There we go, nice light on it. And then the next level up, we'll fill it in with some plates, so 1x3 across and a 1x2 down. So it should be all nice and flat. Should have some holes on the bottom and some studs along the sides. Fill out the top. We'll take a 1x3 plate on the top area, then some 1x2 cheese slopes, or whatever you like to call them. I call them cheese slopes. And then a 1x2 plate in the middle. And to top it off, we'll take a curvy downward slope here, so you can see he comes to a nice point at the bottom because he does have like a curvy body that curves down, so it's a nice little curve there. 1x1 tile in the middle. You might want a 1x3 plate that doesn't have chew marks on it like mine. White 1x1 round and some white cheese slopes. This is for his bow tie sticking off the front. And if you have the legs from the previous step, you can go ahead and connect those to the bottom of those Technic bricks, and the little extra bit of the 3-long bar piece will just fit into those nicely. Then you've got a nice solid body and legs to build the rest of Bendy on. Bendy's arms are nice and simple. Take a 1x1 plate with clip on top, then a 1x2 plate with handle on the end. Clip those together. On top of that, a 1x2 plate with clip on the end like so. All those pieces in black. For the hand, I'm going to take a 1x2 plate with handles on the side like that. And then some 1x1 rounds for kind of finger detail on the glove here. And then a white minifigure hand for the thumb. Put it on the end there. That gives you a little bit of posability. You'll build 2 of those mirror images, which only really changes which side you put the thumb on. So arms and thumbs, arms and thumbs. Let's make some arms and thumbs. And the arms connect on to those spots on the side. A little bit of articulation here. You can extend the arms out and bend the hands in at the wrist as you wish. And of course, move the thumb around. And you can also twist the arm at the shoulder so the hands can go forward if you so desire. So I'm just going to put them down in kind of the default pose for the cutout version of Bendy. Move that thumb a little like that. Okay, let's build the center of Bendy's head. So the first piece I'm going to use is a 2x2 black plate. However, an option you can use is one of these 2x2 black plates with wings on both sides, wedge plate if you will. That makes the build a little more stable, but I don't think it looks as good as the 2x2 plate. I'll show you that option at the very end, but just wanted to let you know that now. I'm gonna drop everything now. Okay, so starting with that 2x2 plate, then a white 1x2 and a black 1x2. Next level, white 2x2, mostly for stability's sake. Then a white 1x1. Then we're gonna take one of these wonderful brick head snot pieces. It is a 1x2 by, I believe, 1 2/3 height, so it's not quite 6 plates tall. I believe it's 5 plates tall. On the back here, we're going to fill in some pieces. So these are Headlight Bricks, 1x1 brick with stud on one side. These can be any color. I'm using brown because I've got a lot in brown because I over-ordered that color. You want the 2 on the bottom to stick out and the 2 at top to stick back. For the front of the face here, I'm going to take these black grill plates hanging down. This was something that Mark did that I thought was really ingenious to get the kind of lines of Bendy's mouth using these grill plates. And then cover that up with some curvy white downward slopes so that you only see the bottom there for what is the actual mouth, and that piece just gets hidden. Nice, right? Oh yeah, and at the top, 2x2 plate, and then some 1x2 cheese slopes in black pointing out. These can also be 1x1 cheese slopes arranged on top. So this is the center of Bendy's head. Doesn't look like much yet, but believe me, it's going to come together. Now we're going to build up one side of Bendy's head. This is some really cool stuff going on here. So the important piece to find is one of these 2x2 bracket / snot pieces. So it's got a 2x2 plate as kind of the base of it, and then a 1x2 with 2 studs hanging off the side. I don't know the technical name for this. I'm just going to call it a Mark brick because I've never really used them in my own builds very much, but Mark used a few of them in this build. So get a Mark brick, and then 2x2 plates. Line them up like that, and then over here a white 1x1 and a black 1x1. Now for the next level, we're going to take one of these 1x3 curvy downward slopes in black to connect those. And in the back, we're going to take another 1x3 curvy downward slope and then a 1x1 plate and connect that. And then over here, I'm going to do a 1x2 plate in black to connect that black piece. White that white piece will just hang out and it'll get another plate taller and just be all lonely over there. Then to finish it off, some 1x2 curvy downward slopes. This one with a white plate under it, that's going to connect there. And this one with a black plate under it in the back here. Now turn this around sideways and see these two studs here. Put a white jumper plate on them. That kind of makes the white part of one half of Bendy's face. Then take a brick head eye. What's really great about this is it's a black eye with a little bit of white. It's not the exact triangle that Bendy's eye is. You know, it's a white triangle on a black circle, but it's as close as you can get using existing Lego parts. So this connects to the center of the head like so. You line it up. 1 second. Not like, yeah, like that. So basically the white lines up with the bottom of the white. Horn sticks up on the back there. So if you ignore that 2x2 plate at the bottom, this lines up exactly with the bottom of the plate above that, and then sticks up above the side there. So hope that makes sense. Basically, you're connecting this stud to the second stud up on the back there, that 2x2 plate. And it will swing around willy-nilly for right now, but we'll fix that later. The other side of the head is a mirror image, so if you think you can do that without instructions, try that, but this is a pretty tricky thing, so I'll show you the mirror image. So again, you want a mark bracket, and then a 2x2 plate, then a 1x1 in white and a 1x1 in black. Connect these with a 1x3 curvy downward slope, then a 1x3 curvy downward slope plus a 1x1 black plate. Back there, a 1x2 black plate for the black piece. The white piece doubles up and hangs out by itself. Then we do a 1x2 downward curvy slope with a black plate in the back and with a white plate in the front. And finish it off with a jumper plate and the brick head eye, which is going to go like that. And then you can connect that. Again, this one goes so the stud right there goes into that spot. And yeah, Bendy's face is basically complete now, the front. I think it looks great. What's really interesting is because of all the different studs not on top or snot building, there's like a white part of his face separate from the black. That's not just an easy way to do because some of it's sideways, this is forward, so you really get this interesting shape here. Not a 100% exact shape. It would be a little more heart-shaped right here if it was 100% exact, but given the constraints of the Lego system and, you know, trying to get the mouth right, I think this is basically as good as you're going to be able to get at this size. But if you have an amazing technique that makes this even better, let us know. So as I said earlier, there is a way to make it a little more stable here. So if you take that 2x2 plate off the bottom, and it's probably going to pull off your 1x2s, so you'll have to reattach those. And you have this 2x2 with wings or wedge. You can put that on instead of just a 2x2 plate. And what that does is it prevents the sides from moving too much back and forth, just because it goes under the bottom there a little bit. So that's a nice way to get it a little more stable. Doesn't look quite as good as the 2x2 in my opinion, just from a looks perspective, but it is more stable, and I know that matters to a lot of people. One last thing to do for the back of the head, get a 2x3 plate, then get some black curvy downward slopes. I'm using a 1x4 here, but that could be two 1x2s. And similarly, I've got some 2x2s here, but that could be more of those 1x4s or a bunch of 1x2s. Just make a nice little thing like that. And then you're going to stick that on the back here, just off of those. So what that does is adds a little bit of depth to the back of Bendy's head, because his head is supposed to kind of be spherical. So that just gives it a little bit of depth. It also helps hold these pieces in place from wiggling around like crazy. So that's a nice bonus, especially if you are just doing the 2x2 plate. So yeah, so that's basically the head. I did want to show you a quick alternate front because this Bendy sometimes does have ink running down his face. So if you take off that jumper plate, put a 1x1 tile here, then put a black 1x1 here, then get one of these black tooth pieces, connect that there. That looks really cool, like ink running down the face. And you can also replace this white curvy slope with a black one for kind of a half ink face look if you're going for that look. And last but not least, you're going to attach the head to the body. So the center of that 2x2 plate is going to go on that stud right there. So there we have the finished Bendy. Looks pretty great in my opinion. I think Mark did a great job with the design on this and under my direction. Whoop! His arms can go out and his hands can be rearranged depending on what you want to do. His head is nice and fall-offy. You can also twist his head. His legs twist as well, so you might want to put his feet forward for being a little more stable on the ground, especially when you start posing the arms in different ways. But as far as the view of him as a cutout, I thought it looked good with the feet out and the legs kind of, and the arms kind of bowed out a little bit with the hands turned in. But as you see, that makes Bendy pretty unstable. How about this? Can you stand like this, Bendy? Da-da-da-da-da-da! Hey! And of course, if you have built my Cuphead mock, these go well together, seeing as they're both from small independent video games, which feature old school animation and include a demon of some kind. So you can have crossover fanfic where Cuphead and Mugman make a deal with Bendy the demon as opposed to, you know, the devil from his game. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Hey! I didn't really have a skit or anything in mind, just dancing figures. La-di-da-di-da-di-da-di-da. Thanks for watching this video. Be sure to like this video, subscribe to Brick 101, and check out all of my How to Build Video Game Characters videos.